Hey guys, I'm Chef T Max. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're gonna make a baked brie. It's a classic. So many people love this dish and it's awesome for special occasions. So let's make it here with me today. Subscribe if you're not doing that already. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and ring that bell and I'll send you new things I have coming up. So I'll see you back in a second with some baked brie. Baked brie. So what do you need? First, you need a beautiful triple cream. Now a lot of times people will get the small, thin baked bries. I'm gonna make two out of this one. This is Saint Andre. This one is thicker, and I'll just cut it in half. But I just love the flavor of this particular triple cream, okay? Now, if you wanna do this with a different cheese, you can do that. It's no big deal. So we're gonna do, because I have the cheese here. It's thick, like I said, so I'm gonna cut it in half. And I've got this beautiful, look at that in there. I can't help myself, but I have to cut off a little piece and taste it. You gotta make sure it's okay for your friends and family to eat, right? And this one is amazing. So I'm gonna put this to the side, okay? And I'm gonna get a little bit of an egg wash ready here. So for the egg wash, I use the yolks only. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the whites out of this. Okay, and I have some heavy cream in there, just a tablespoon of heavy cream, okay? Oh. So if you do that, if you spill in like this, you can take it out by taking the shell. And the shell, you're able to remove the yolk from there and kind of spill off the white. And that's it. That's fine. Okay? What I want to do is basically have enough yolk here where it's going to help to color my brie and make it nice and brown. I'm just going to wipe that, and you can see that with the cream. Okay? If you have little whites in there, it's okay. It's not like sometimes when you absolutely cannot have a white in there or a yolk in there, but it's fine with this. So we're just looking, like I said, to color a little bit there. So here I'm going to take a puff pastry. Now my suggestion to you is probably just buy a good puff pastry with butter. I like it with real butter in there. Now if you want, you can make your own. It's a much more tedious process than just buying it, obviously. But it's obviously the quality of what you get is way different and way nicer. The quality of folding butter into the dough and rolling it out, it's incredible. But it's a really hard process. Like I said, try it if you're up for it. If not, buy it like this. Put a little flour on this so it doesn't stick to my board, right? Okay, and just a little all-purpose flour. And then I'm gonna just turn it around. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. When it comes out of the package, it's pretty kind of dried a little bit. So you know what I can do? I don't need this plastic actually. Going right on the board here. And I've got my rolling pin. Okay, I'm gonna do like this. Okay, now beautiful. And I want to roll this out. So I just want to take my rolling pin and just kind of work it like this out in a circle. And I'm doing this to kind of thin out this dough a little bit. When you buy these, a lot of times they're pretty thick, the dough. So you have room to kind of stretch it out a little bit, okay? Like that, okay? And then here, again, put a little bit more flour on there. We don't want it to stick to our board, right? And then I'm gonna flip it over here and just nicely spread this out so we have enough to do two pieces, right? We're not looking to do any certain thinness, but like I said, when they come in the box right there in your frozen section of your grocery store, they're kind of thicker because they don't know what you're going to use them for, so they make them thicker and then you can thin them out. It doesn't need to be so thick to do this, right? So with this, at this point, I'm going to take my Brie and I'll put it down like this, so that'll be the top side of it, right? Because I'm going to fold it over, and then this side here, I think that's probably good like that, right? Like that, okay? And then I'm going to just put a little bit of truffle oil. Now I use a little white truffle oil that I have. Again, you don't have to have this, but I like to use it. It's going to give it like a beautiful truffle savoriness. A flavor of the truffle like that. And a pinch of salt, okay? Even though Brie is already savory, I just put a little salt on there as well, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this over now. So I'll take my cutter here, and I'll probably cut it this way, like this. And I don't need excess, so I'm going to cut off probably like this. And you can bake these. These will be nice baked up. But I give it a little bit of a rectangle like that, okay? And then I'm going to bend it this way as well. And then what I'll do here, that oil is going to help that to stick, okay? But I want to bend this over as well, but I'm going to first put a little bit of egg wash here, okay? The egg wash, actually, let me put the egg wash under here too. The egg wash is going to help these to stick together, which is what we want. And I'm going to do it here like this, and then like this, and this. You can kind of pull the dough. And again, each layer that's touching, let's go ahead and put some egg wash on there. So here too, like this. Okay. And then I'll flip it over and I'll form it nice like this. Okay. Now, I'll put this in a pan. I'm going to put a little oil down so it doesn't stick, so you guys can see what that looks like. And I'll roll it around the pan like here. Okay. And I'll do the same with this one. So this one, we don't need all the excess here. We're going to pull it over. So just trim it around like this. And what we'll do is fold our dough over like this. Put a little bit of wash on it. Okay. And then let's fold this guy over here too. I'm going to bend that one down and then fold it and stretch it, so as we don't want this to ooze out. That's the big thing on the bottom, like here. We don't want, when this triple cream starts to kind of bake, soften, we don't want it to ooze out. So it's really not a specific pattern on this that I'm looking to do. If you want to do a pattern, you can. There's different, things you can kind of Google and check out, different patterns for puff pastries, like on a package like this. But to be honest, I like just a simple one. Let this thing bake up. Some people will cut these pieces of shapes out here. Now, if it's Valentine's Day, right? And let's see how you would make a heart. Let's see. I think you could do it probably like, I wonder if you could do it like this. Let's try. I have to probably have something like this that will cut it. Oh. Well, it would. Let me see. I cut it too tight. It looks more like a bat. But if you have a little heart-shaped cutter, right, and you want to try to cut hearts out, you do a little Valentine's Day heart like that, right? And then you put this right on the top, like this. And then you can put your little Valentine's heart on top like this, okay? Isn't that pretty? Now, let me move this out of the way. Okay? That dough, like I said, you can use those, cut those in strips and bake those with this as well. With this now, I'm going to want to just put a good coating of this egg wash on here, okay? Because I want this to bake and get really golden and beautiful. So make sure we go very generous with your egg wash and brush it everywhere. Okay. Again, you can make any kind of design you wanted. I'm going to try this little heart. Let's see what it looks like. It'll probably turn out a lot better by the time it's baked and gets golden. It turns up, it kind of accentuates itself when you have all the different colors of brown as it bakes. So with this, you just want to make sure that you've tucked it under really well so your cheese doesn't melt all out of your brie. That's one of the main things you want to do. And you want to make sure that it's going to stay together, and you'll have a beautiful baked brie like that. Now, what I'll do too is with this one, I have some black pepper here. I'm going to put black pepper on top. See that one? We'll do that one with black pepper. Okay. We will do this one. We'll leave this one as is. I'll put a little bit of salt on both because, like I said, a little salt brings out the flavor of the cheese. And this one, we're going to have a sweet jam with this of strawberries. So I'm going to throw this in the oven. We're baking for probably about 15 minutes at 350. And you're basically just looking for the pastry to be golden and cooked, okay? You're not really worried too much about the inside. You're not gonna overcook the cheese. The cheese is gonna get nice and melty in there, and it'll be beautiful. So let me throw this in the oven, and we'll be back in 1 second. Okay guys, we're back, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a small pot and some strawberries. I have some beautiful fresh strawberries. These have all been kind of cleaned. And you can see the tops of the strawberries are a little bit green still, and you have the beautiful sweet part on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the top parts off, right? So we'll cook them, and we're going to make them sweeter. This is kind of the beginning of strawberry season in Florida. As we get into February and March, we get tons of beautiful strawberries happening all the way till really April, and then they go up the coast all the way up north, right? And throughout the summer. But we start down here in Florida with them in February. And what we're going to do at this point is cut off all of these underdone. Now these underdone pieces, you would normally throw those away, but they have nice acidity in these. And so I'm going to throw those right in this pot. Actually, what I'm going to do though is chop them up a little bit smaller though. Okay. And then we're going to cook them. And what we'll do is we'll chop up this rest of the strawberry raw, the sweet part of the strawberry, and we're going to add the cooked strawberry back on top of the raw strawberry. And what that's going to do is it's going to give it, it'll cook the raw strawberries just slightly, just a residual heat. Now with these, you can see I'm laying them flat like this, and you can do a whole bunch at a time. Just lay them in 2x2s like this. 2, 2, 2 like this, right? And then come through with your knife and just slice down, okay? And by cooking these, you'll get the acidity of the green part. You know, like this part, a lot of times people like to pickle green strawberries. They're really nice as a condiment for different things, even savory things, fish and such like this. But what I'm gonna do is add them here. Now, whenever I'm doing something sweet like this, I still wanna put a little salt, not to make it salty, but to bring out the flavor, okay? I'm gonna take a little bit of cayenne. I wanna make it a little spicy too, because we have sweet, and this is going with the cheese. So I wanna give a little bite to it, okay? So just a little tiny bit of strawberry, of cayenne pepper or hot pepper, right? Now, from this point, I'm gonna put in a 1/4 cup of sugar, because we want it to be sweet, right? That's going to be acidic, and we don't want it to be sour. We want it to be nice and sweet. I'm going to have some beautiful champagne or white wine vinegar, and I'm going to put like basically a tablespoon in there, not too much. Okay. Now with this, I'm going to put a tablespoon of water. Maybe actually, I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of water. Excuse me. And that 1/4 cup of water, I'm going to bring this to a boil, and I want to turn it down to a simmer. The reason we want to turn it down is because I want to give it time to cook and the strawberries to meld and give off their juices and all this to blend together. And I'll show you what this looks like towards the end, okay? So I'm going to put this on the fire and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and what I'm going to do at this point is I want to slice these strawberries like this. So just in probably thirds. They don't have to be too small. And then from here, I'm going to take the strawberries and dice them. And what we're looking to do is just have a nice small strawberry. When we put the jam on top of it, it's going to give us some body, and then this will be a nice preserve to use. That's why we put a little bit of vinegar in there too. It gives it a touch of acidity. It's not quite as much vinegar as you put in a chutney. A chutney has quite a bit of vinegar in it, so it has a real acidity to it. This one, we already have kind of the green stem of the strawberry giving us some of the acidity because it's not fully ripe, the strawberry. The tips of the strawberry are ripe, and by adding the sugar, it's going to give us a sweetness. So from here, we'll just lay our strawberries down, and I'm just going to dice them, like cut them up smaller. They don't have to be too small. I don't want to dice those. I do want a little bit of body, as I want this chutney to have some texture to it, because our strawberry that's being cooked, we're going to end up mashing that up and having it be more of a puree like that goes on top of the strawberries. In that way, any of the stem that we saw, little bits of the stem or any of the raw parts that didn't cook really well, they all get kind of pureed up or mashed up, and they'll go on top of these fresh, beautifully sliced strawberries. Now, we do want to add that while it's hot. So the strawberry that is cooking, you put these on while they're hot, and what they do is they just break down the strawberry slightly. They're not going to cook the strawberry in any way. You're not going to lose a lot of the water from the strawberry, but they are going to wilt a little bit, and that wilting is what gives them this beautiful sauce-like flavor, but they have a rawness to them and a cooked flavor to them too. So that it's really nice combination, and it's a good way to make a jam like that you can add for different things. Now you could do this with other fruits as well. It's really great with blueberries. So if you took 2 pints of blueberries and cooked them with a little sugar and a little bit of water and vinegar, same way, and then you put other blueberries just whole in a bowl, and then you do the same thing. You puree the blueberries that you're cooking with the liquid and any seasoning you would put in it, and then you put it on top of your strawberry. So our strawberries are ready. Our cooked strawberries are going to be about another 5 minutes or so. Our baked brie should be ready in a little bit as well, and we're going to come back up and tie this all together, so we'll see you back in the kitchen soon. Okay guys, we're back. I've got my strawberry now that I've cooked down, and you guys can see the strawberry is all wilted down, the juice has gotten thick, and I want to put that in my blender like this. Get every bit of it in there, okay? Now, I'm going to take this and I want to puree this, okay? And then we're going to pour it on top of our fresh strawberries. So let's take a look at that. I have my strawberries here. I opened that gently. Can you hear that? That's all steam trying to pop this thing off, right? So you don't want to just open it completely. You want to just open it just a touch, let the steam come out a little bit so it doesn't fly off, okay? And then I'm going to pour that hot strawberry puree onto my fresh strawberries, just like this. See what that looks like? And then I'm just going to stir that up. Beautiful hot strawberry mixture with the room temperature cut strawberries. I don't really like to ice the strawberries. Like your cut strawberries, don't put those in the fridge and make them ice cold, because we want this warm liquid to stay warm for a little bit. If you did it, it'd be kind of like having a hot liquid and having ice cubes, and immediately it would cool this hot strawberry mixture down. So what I want to do is I want to let it cool down slowly by sitting here with these room temperature strawberries. And what you end up with is a nice kind of jam of the development of cooked strawberries and sugar and a little bit of acidity from the vinegar with the strawberry itself. Now, at this point, you can taste it a little bit. And it's the perfect balance. That just a hint of salt gives it a touch of savoriness. The vinegar was just a tablespoon, enough to, as it's cooking, keep the acidity in there, but not go sour. You don't want sour because it's not a chutney, right? If you like sour, you can put more, but that's fine. But the sweetness of the strawberry has developed. So you have strawberry, a little savoriness, sweetness from the sugar that's in there. Great balance, okay? And this now, we're going to let it sit out and leave it until it cools. When it cools, we'll put it in the fridge and really let it get ice cold, and it's going to be a great accoutrement to really anything that you would put a strawberry jam on, but especially this beautiful baked brie. So we'll see you back when that's done. Okay guys, we're back. Now what I've done is I pulled my brie out, and you can see how this one, the little heart kind of showed up a little bit on there. My dough is nice and cooked, okay? The pastry itself is very soft. Now this part to finish it, I'm gonna take my strawberries that we have here, okay? And I'm just gonna go ahead and put those all around my dish. So as you kind of open this up, when you're kind of serving this, serve this with some cut bread or some crackers. Nice chill of the strawberries. You can see how the sauce is implemented with that. What I'd like to do too is I take a little bit of fresh honey, and I'm just gonna drizzle the honey on top like this for a little sweetness. Because you know the white truffle and the savoriness of the cheese, a little salt with that we put in there gives that savory. And then you have the sweetness of the strawberries, and then with this bit of honey on there, perfect balance. It's all about balance, you guys, and you guys know that. I talk about it all the time. So I want you to make this at home and try it in your kitchen soon. I'm Chef Team Max. Leave me comments if you need to know anything. Thank you for coming.